Dialga and Palkia origin forms in Pokemon Go are extremely strong Pokemon, but which one is going to be stronger and which one should you consider powering up? Is it both? Is it neither? Or is it one or the other? Let's find out in this video because we're going to rank these Pokemon in Pokemon Go and see what the recommendations are. And I know some of you guys have completed the day, but hopefully you guys got the shinies. Hopefully you got the 100% IV. So let's break down how good these Pokemon actually are in Pokemon Go. So welcome to the Trainer Club. Here we go. The Dialga and Palkia are great Pokemon. Dialga is going to be the combination of Steel and Dragon type, while Palkia is going to be Water and Dragon. This makes these Pokemon extremely versatile. Not only are they pretty good as PvE meta attackers going after gym battles, but they're also great as PvP Pokemon as well. So let's start ourselves off with the Dialga in Pokemon Go. This Pokemon is extremely strong and they also max out very high, which is fun to have in our bags. The Dialga is going to max out at 4624, which is extremely high. This Pokemon has an attack of 270, a defense of 225, and a stamina of 205, which makes this Pokemon extremely even-keeled and really powerful. It's only going to have two weaknesses, which are going to be fighting and ground. It's going to have a single resistance of bug, electric, flying, normal, psychic, rock, steel, and water, and then it's going to be double resistant to grass as well as poison. The fast attacks are going to be Dragon Breath and Metal Claw, and both of those are going to be stab attack, which means same type attack bonus because it's matching the typings of that Pokemon, which makes those moves more powerful for it. It's going to have Iron Head, Thunder, and Draco Meteor as far as its charge attacks, and then if it comes with this move from the raid, hopefully you guys do get it, it's going to have Roar of Time, which is a fantastic adventure effect, which is going to pause any of your items that you're using, which are going to include Star Pieces, Lucky Eggs, Incenses, Adventure, and Non, which allows you to capitalize on these items and help out with pausing, which helps you with the adventure incense because you can elongate the potential of getting those Galarian birds. So as far as a meta attacker, where does this Pokemon rank? Let's see what the top dragon types are and where does this sit. The number one Pokemon in the game right now is considered to be Eternatus with the Dynamax cannon at 73.92. And that is game-breakingly strong, but we just need to see, is that move going to be available when it's not in his Dynamax form, or is it only going to be when it's in his Dynamax form? Because they just added that that Pokemon does have the adventure effect that basically increases all of your max battle attacks. Whatever Pokemon is in the max battle is going to be increased by 1 attack value, which is really powerful, but does that mean that that move is going to be available when it is a PvE attacker as opposed to in the max battle? We don't exactly know right now, but we'll see very soon. Then we're going to have Rayquaza with the Dragon Tail and Breaking Swipe at 69.13. Then we have the Mega Garchomp with Dragon Tail and Outrage at 60.36, which is really cool to see a Mega non-legendary so high on the attacker list. This is really cool. I love this. Love to see it. Love to see a pseudo-legendary because this Pokemon has had a calm day and most of us should be able to easily get candy for this Pokemon. And if you do not or have not been able to yet, in the future they're going to run a calm day classic and you'll be able to get it. Then we have the Max Eternatus. Let's just go ahead and skip that right now because that one is not available to us. And then we have as the fourth, well technically the third available strongest Pokemon in the game right now, Metal Claw Roar of Time at 57.27. So wow, this Pokemon is very strong from a dragon attacker standpoint. Extremely good, something that I definitely recommend that you guys try to get. Once you do get, if you get the Hundo with the Roar of Time, you can power it up. However, this Pokemon absolutely must have Roar of Time on it. Because if we do check this Pokemon out with the Metal Claw and Roar of Time, it is its highest value at 52.31. Then we have Shadow Dialga, 51.41 with that same exact moveset, but with Draco Meteor, so it's not too far behind it. Then the origin form with Dragon Breath and Roar of Time at 48.56. And if we keep going down the list, we can see the regular Dialga with the Metal Claw Draco Meteor at 44.83, which is actually above the Metal Claw Draco Meteor of the origin form at 44.67. So it jumps a little bit over 6 points when it does have this move, so it's imperative that this Pokemon does have it. So what does this Pokemon do in PvP? Well, according to PvPoke, it's going to be ranked 56 in the Master League, best ranking with Dragon Breath, Roar of Time, and Iron Head. So this Pokemon is an absolute win yes, power it up, yes, hunt it. It is a great Pokemon, which is then going to move us onto the counterpart of the Palkia. This Pokemon is going to be a water and a dragon type combination. It's going to have two weaknesses, which is going to be fairy and dragon. As far as its resistances go, it's going to be resistant to steel and double resistant to fire and water. But that means that every other move on this Pokemon is going to hit it neutral, which is a little bit problematic in general. But that doesn't mean that we can count it out as of yet, or that it's not as good as the Dialga. This Pokemon will max a little bit higher at 4683. It's going to have attack of 286, a defense of 223, and a stamina of 189. So the Palkia does have a little bit higher of an attack. It does have a little bit lower of a defense and a stamina, but the attack is weighted a little bit more, and that's why the CP is higher. As far as its fast attacks is going to be Dragon Breath and Dragon Tail, and its charge moves are going to be Aqua Tail, Fire Blast, Hydro Pump, Draco Meteor, and of course, the move Spacial Rend. And Spacial Rend is awesome because you know how when you're playing Pokemon Go, you're gonna have one circle around you and then another circle that's a bit bigger that allows you to not catch Pokemon in that vicinity necessarily, but it does allow you to spin stops. That then allows you to see the bigger radius that will allow Pokemon to pop up. So it's very advantaged if you're doing something like a Spotlight Hour with a boosted Stardust Pokemon, such as Staryu, and then you're able to use this the entire time because it will allow you to see so many more Pokemon. And while it might not always be the best thing to do because it does cost Stardust and it gets quite expensive, in certain scenarios, like for that hour for calm days where it's able to get you so many more catches, it's definitely worth it. So now let's see what form of Palkia is the strongest. This actually really surprised me. So if we look here, Shadow Palkia, Dragon Tail, Draco Meteor at 50.92 is stronger than the origin form with Dragon Tail and Spacial Rend at 50.21. Really impressive. Dragon Breath, Draco Meteor on the Shadow Palkia once again is going to be 48.55. Then we have the Hydro Pump at 48.48, which is still really impressive. Then if we keep going down the list, we have another Palkia with the origin form with Dragon Breath and Spacial Rend at 48.12. And then we have it with Draco Meteor at 45.55, which is actually above the regular Palkia, unlike we did see with the Dialga. And then in the Dragon category, remember we did see that origin form Dialga on the first page. If we go to the second page, we can see the Mega Salamence with Dragon Tail and Draco Meteor at 57.24, Shadow Dialga at 56.32, Shadow Palkia at 55.87, Palkia in the origin form at 55.08, and Shadow Salamence at 54.9. If you want to see down the list, you can go down on the next page, see the Black Kyurem, the Shadow Dragonite, the Shadow Garchomp, the Mega Sceptile, and the Mega Latios. And if you really want to keep going down the list, you can see the regular Dialga and the Palkia all the way down at 49.08 and 48.61. So extremely impressive from both of these Pokemon. But then again, what do we do with this Pokemon? Do I power it up? Absolutely. Both these Pokemon get an A+ powered up for me. If you have to choose one from a meta attacker, remember the Dialga is going to be a little bit better. But for PvP, Palkia is going to be ranked 3 overall in comparison to in the 50s with Dragon Breath, Aqua Tail, and Spacial Rend. So this is another amazing Pokemon here. And if we do want to see Hydro Pump Palkia where it ranks, Primal Kyogre is going to be at the top at 63.27, the Shadow Palkia at 53.18, and the origin form is going to be all the way down at 47.58, which does not mean it is irrelevant, but it is behind Shadow Empoleon, Shadow Salamence, Mega Gyarados, Shadow Samurott, Ash Greninja, Mega Blastoise, and Mega Salamence. And then if we're going to look at the Steel type, man, you can't overlook that Crown Sword Zacian with the Behemoth Blade at 69.75, or the Crown Sword Zamazenta at 69.71, or even the Duskmane Necrozma at 69.14. Then you have the Mega Metagross, the Shadow Metagross, the Dynamax Metagross, the regular Metagross, the Shadow Dialga with Iron Head at 49.35, the Black Kyurem with Iron Head at 45.81. And if you do want to see the origin form, it's all the way down below Melmetal, Jirachi, and all those other Pokemon at 42.8. So while neither of these Pokemon are the most excelled with their secondary move that matches their typing, they are still pretty powerful and they still work really well. But most importantly, guys, A+ power up for both these Pokemon. Now you know where they sit, what's stronger than them, and what is not in Pokemon Go. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know in the comments below what you guys are up to. Did you get the hundos? And I hope you guys even get the shundos in Pokemon Go. So thank you guys for being here as always. I'm gonna see you out on the next video. Peace.